Hello and welcome to my live stream here on YouTube. I hope that you were able to hear me clearly with the microphone and see me clearly as well. I wanted to show you a little presentation first. This is actually one of my first live streams, so I need to make sure I can find out exactly how to do that. Hang on a second. Let's see. Deal scam. Here we go. Just a second. There we go. Yeah. Coming up in just a second. There we go. All right. Now you should be able to see this smiling figure saying welcome. This presentation will be done in English, but I will also switch into Danish for a short period of the time. You should be able to click on the cogwheel in order to have a automatic transcription into whatever language that you speak, if not English or Danish or other languages. På dansk skulle det være sådan, at hvis I ikke forstår det engelske, jeg siger, så skal I kunne trykke på det lille hjul nede til højre. Der skulle I meget gerne kunne trykke på automatisk oversættelse til dansk, sådan så I rent faktisk får en dansk oversættelse, mens det foregår. Men jeg prøver at gøre det på engelsk det meste af tiden, og så kommer der et enkelt indslag på dansk i forhold til de mentorkurser, jeg har. Godt. And back to the English again. The list of content today is my background in trading. I'm going to talk very quickly about what I do, the mentoring. We will do some real live account trading. No bullshit in this case. This is the real thing. I will talk quickly about my mentorship courses, and then we will talk about trading psychology and mindset along with the Q&A, and we will do this more or less during the trading as well. And I will be open for questions along the way, so I'll try my best to look at the chat to see if you have any questions. My goal of this is to be as transparent as possible, both in this live, but also in my mentoring, to be honest and trustworthy. And I'm also trying to be, or at least I am unique because I'm offering a trading buddy and accountability partner concept, which not many others do. I'm available for my mentees that I already have much more than most others. And for me, it's like that your success is my success, basically. So this is my goals. My background in trading is that I've been trading actively on and off since 2008, both full-time and part-time, as you can see. Right now, I'm trading mostly the DAX, the Dow, and stocks, primarily in CFDs. I'm using the TD36 platform for my execution, and I'm using perrealton.com/web for the overview. What do I do? Well, I'm a day trader mentor right now. I have been mentoring for about 2 months. I have some paying customers, and I also have trial mentees project, which is running about a month now and has to run about 5 more months. I'm doing this educating, I'm doing the mentoring, and this trading buddy accountability partner service as well in one. And what you see from me is live trading, except nothing less. There's many out there who wants to pretend that they do live, but not unless you pay to go to some website or some Telegram group or whatever. I will do it live on YouTube. So there's no bullshit, basically. And also, I will have a new name and website on the way for my mentoring. But for now, you can find me on facebook.com/investorkursus. You can also go to see for my personal profile there as well. Yeah, I do have some mentorship courses. Basically, I have to be completely honest with you and say that they are under development, but I have offered them to primarily Danish people. I cannot offer them to US citizens because of the rules about CFD trading. But for now, I have a Kickstarter, I have an expert, and I have a new beginner or beginner group course. And these courses are courses that will probably be there until the 1st of September. But after that, it could look a bit different because there's a chance that I will only have one mentorship course after that. But so far, I have offered these courses for, as you can see here, about $1,145, $2,000 for this Kickstarter, $6,800 for the expert. And as of now, until the 1st of September, I'm currently making a 50% discount, as I say here. So you can actually get it at half the price. På dansk, Jeg er i gang med et ekspertforløb med mine prøvekaniner, og desuden har jeg et kickstarterforløb og et nybegynderforløb. Jeg har prøvet heroppe at beskrive lidt om, hvad det indeholder, men lige nu kan man sige, at det er i hvert fald det, jeg har nu indtil 1. september, og så kan det være, at jeg ændrer lidt på det hele. Og i det her tilfælde, jamen, så har jeg nogle udgangspriser, der hedder 7.995, 14.750 og 47.000 for de 3 forskellige forløb, som selvfølgelig er henholdsvis ekstensiv 22 handelsdage, 44 handelsdage eller 100 handelsdage. Og det her er jo som sagt et helt mentorforløb, det er jo ikke bare et weekendkursus eller et dagskursus. Lige nu har jeg sagt, jamen jeg kører så længe, at hvad kan man sige, at produktet ikke er færdiggjort, så har jeg kørt et testforløbspris med 50% rabat, som der står hernede. Ja, and back to the English version again. The trading psychology and the mindset. I will talk about this during the trades. And I will also do QAs along the way. So this is basically about it. So I'll try to go. There we go. Yeah. Is there anybody who can actually hear me or see me, because there is nothing in the chat so far? Can somebody give me a heads up here? It will be fantastic. I can see looks like I have 8 viewers, but it will be fantastic if somebody wants to write just a small comment. Yeah, we have Kim Poulsen saying yes, that is fantastic. All right, let's continue with the trading itself. The time now is before the US market opens. In my preparation, I normally do, in this case, I open 2 windows. I open a window first, which I will show you now. Here, and this is Pro Real-Time Web, which is a platform where I can see these 4 stocks that I have highlighted. This is Nvidia, Netflix, Microsoft, and Meta. And these are 4 very big names and very big volatile stocks, so they move quite a lot. And I'm using basically the teaching from Oliver Velez in order to do the trading. That means that I have drawn in my Fabulous 4 already, which are these boxes you can see here. A Fabulous 4 box is, in this case, let's take the Netflix example here. This is, I take the top of the price from the last 45 minutes of trading. I take the bottom of the price for the last 45 minutes of trading, and the 2 moving averages as well. Also, actually, Oliver says that you should also mark the closing price of the prior last day. So basically we can do that, but mostly with the time I can just see it with my eyes. So I don't really mark it. I can see it with my eyes. So the main thing here is that you have to select the highest point from the price or the moving averages. That means in this case with Microsoft, you have the highest point within the last 45 minutes to an hour. You have the lowest point, which in this case is the 200 moving average. I have done a dotted line here, and this is because I say that this area for me is significant, even though it's actually inside what Oliver calls the trap zone. All right. And so on the other stocks now. So this is basically my preparation. And what we will do is that we will see when the market opens in 6 minutes, that price will start to be counting. I have here, as maybe I hope you can see, on the 2-minute time frame. Here's on the 3-minute, but I actually do allow myself to flip back and forth between 2-minute and 3-minute time frame. And I do this because once in a while it gets more clear to see on the 2-minute than the 3-minute. And what could actually be a very good idea, is a very good free tip, is that if you are trading one of these stocks here, that you maybe have another workspace that you can open. Let me just see if I can find an example here. Live. Yeah. Here's another example. So here you can see now I have Netflix open on the 2-minute and the 3-minute. So that means if I have chosen to focus on this specific stocks, I basically just have to see which of the 2 viewing modes, the 2 time frames, is presenting the best view for me, because sometimes the 2-minute can be a little bit cluttered and the 3-minute can be a little bit more clear. So it's always good to have the possibility of watching both of them at the same time. But for now, I'm actually watching these 4 stocks because I want to see which of these 4 stocks actually present some kind of opportunity. Instead of just locking me into one stock, I like Nvidia very much, but if Nvidia doesn't produce anything, then I would say, okay, if Meta produces an opportunity or Microsoft or Netflix produces opportunity, I will take it. Or I can even here go very quickly and write TSLA, like Tesla, in case I want to see, how is Tesla looking? And then I can switch back very fast. The cool thing about this platform is also that you can not only get real-time quotes. You can see I just have to put it here for real-time. Here it says real-time, real-time, real-time. That is free, and you can actually save as many workspaces as you want. So basically, I could just open here and have one single workspace for every stock that I'm looking at. All right. So the plan is that we are going to try and identify a opportunity on these 4 charts as they occur in real time. Not many trading educators do this. I have visited several YouTube channels myself and went into the live sections. And basically what I see is people drawing a line here, drawing a line there, and saying that if the price goes there, I will do this. And if the price goes there, I will do that. But they're not really trading. And if I ask them, well, when are you actually going to live trade? This is called live. They say, oh, go to my Telegram channel, because there you will get signals and you will see the real trade. But for me, I just think it's quite funny, because if you have live trading, you should show live trading in a live YouTube video. Okay, so when I'm doing this stream here now, I will flip through the screen so you can actually see me on my real account for the exact trades that I do. So it's very important for me that everything will become as transparent as possible for you guys to see that I am actually doing the trading myself as it happens. So we have 2 minutes now for the start. Maybe I can do a question. Let's see if I can do this very quickly. Which one are you rooting for? And I say Nvidia. Or let's say, which one has a good one? Actually, not the Netflix. All right. Tilføj en mulighed. All right. We can actually put in Meta. And we can put in Microsoft. Okay. So now I should have done a small vote that you can vote to say which of the 4 stocks are you rooting for, which one is going to produce the best of the first signal. Myself, I would say I'm rooting for Nvidia because Nvidia has a really nice span. So I hope that one can actually produce a good signal. So what I'm looking for now, with 45 seconds left before the market opens, is that as soon as the market opens, I want to wait until at least 1 minute and 30 seconds is done from the candle. That means that the 2-minute candle basically should be closed, or at least 1 minute and 30 of it is going to be done, so I can identify if it's an elephant bar or not. But let's see how it goes. We have 15 seconds now, and it should open. So let's see. And I can see it looks like people are voting on Nvidia. Well, Nvidia is in number 1, I think, with 67%. So let's see what Nvidia can show. Here we go. Now, technically, we should open up. And yes, we do. So now you can see the Netflix has opened, the Nvidia has opened. We have here the Microsoft opening and the Meta opening. And they are all opening on top of their fabulous 4 areas, with a red bar, besides Netflix is actually opening with a positive green bar. So what I'm still looking for, as I said, is to see how price reacts within the first 2 minutes before I consider doing anything at all. It's kind of crazy, I can say, with Microsoft and Meta just diving directly into the fabulous 4 with a very big sales candle. Let's see how they progress. Let's see. So far, what I wanted to see was basically a candle that maybe touches the fabulous 4 but stays above it. Or in this case, from where they have started, I wanted to see a very bullish elephant bar. Now we have 1 minute and 15 seconds running. We can see now that Meta is trying to stay above the fabulous 4, but it looks like Microsoft is really struggling. I will do nothing until I get a clear signal, and it has to happen at a good position for me. Yeah, now we are coming into the first 2 minutes. So now we can actually see the first candlesticks produced on the 2-minute time frame. There we go. I would say now that the Meta and the Nvidia looks so far most interesting for me. I will be looking for Meta to go above the red line here in order for me to buy it. And the Nvidia could basically produce a buying signal as it passes above the top here as well. But I want to monitor just for a little while. There you go. Nvidia actually did go topping over. The thing is here, we need green to take over red in this zone of Meta. So I'm especially looking for Meta right now. I'm also looking a little bit at Microsoft, what it's doing. Yeah, actually, this is very extreme. Yeah, actually, Microsoft has made something called like a torpedo here, the red one here, which actually closes exactly on the fabulous 4 top. So basically, I could have entered already here as soon as it crosses over the body of the red one. Yeah, I was a bit too slow there. But sometimes this is what happens. And the Meta has gone a signal as well. Fine. Let me see if I can catch it. There we go. All right. I have entered a long position in Meta right now. And I will open up my chart on TD365 separately. And I just do one CFD for the how to say, for the, sorry, it's not Meta, it's Nvidia. I said wrong. Oh yeah, I did open Meta. Wow. That was actually not the best one. I was supposed to open Nvidia, but I was too quick. Okay, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Okay, that's a learning experience. I was about to open Nvidia and open by Meta, but look, as long as Meta stays above the fabulous 4 here, I'm not really that concerned. So I will just let my Meta run, even though I was supposed to open Nvidia. This was a mistake. I'm sorry, but so it is. Sometimes you can even be lucky doing mistakes. That's the cool part. But you need to understand when you're actually doing mistakes. You need to understand when you're saying, hey, I was lucky. And as you can clearly see now, because the power of focusing on one stock would have been fantastic, that the Microsoft, as soon as this red bar gets taken out, I have the confirmation that I have a 20 moving average pointing upwards. I have green taking out red in a positive area. Just configure this line. I have green taking out red in the first position, as Oliver teaches here. So as soon as the green one passes the red one here, I would have entered the trade. Unfortunately, I entered the wrong one, but I would enter trade, and I would have put my stop right underneath here. And in this case, I picked the wrong stock in this case because it didn't support over the Fabulous 4. Now it actually went down to the zone. So that's what it is. Okay, let me see. Hang on a second. Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. I was just trying to assess the meta because, unfortunately, as I said, I actually pressed the meta instead of the Nvidia by mistake. So it is sometimes when you have 3 screens. I will try and watch the meta very clearly now because I need to see some kind of candlesticks proving me that this red bar that they just dived into the Fabulous 4 is kind of like a fake out. That means that, as you can see now, the green one is building its way back, that hopefully it can build a little bit more green on. But to be back with the basics of the teaching is here that when you have the Fabulous 4 box, you have the 20 moving average and the 200 moving average very close to each other. You buy on the color change when the green takes over the red, and in this case you would have an entry on Microsoft at 413, and right now you'll be sitting at 415. So this will be a very quick $2 in the matter of 6 minutes. So if you're running 1,000 shares, well, it could be quite fun. The Nvidia seems to be stalling over here. I would, in this case, just go to see how it looks on the 3-minute to see if I get a clear signal. And basically, I could say, well, I could do a buy after the color change here. We're still in position 1. We have the 20 moving average underneath the 200, which is necessarily not the best thing. It could be better if the 20 moving average was here. I'll flip back to the 2-minute. Okay, so while we wait a little bit about the meta, because I want to give meta a small chance to see if it can actually go back into the Fabulous, above the Fabulous 4 box. The thing is that, yeah, I actually made a mistake here by pressing the wrong button with meta instead of Nvidia. And this is what happens. I mean, shit happens once in a while. And I choose now we're talking about the trading psychology and we're talking about the mindset. I'm choosing not to be frustrated or annoyed or anything about it. I mean, this was just a common mistake that anybody could do. And you have to see that all your trading, regardless of this mistake or not, regardless of I missed the Microsoft move here, is only one trade out of a series of trades. So it's very important to understand that if you make one mistake in a stock or you have one lose or whatever, you should only view it as one out of series. So let's say in this case, I take 100 trades in Meta and just, well, stick to Meta. I could do that. Well, then you could say, well, what does this one trade mean out of 100 trades in Meta? Well, as long as I keep my stop loss, it's not going to be a problem. And I can tell you cannot see the platform, but I actually have my stop loss right underneath here, underneath the red bar here for now. So if the price goes underneath there, I will accept that I have been defeated for this one trade. But you could argue to say that since I pressed the wrong stock, you could say, well, why didn't you just exit it straight away? And yeah, I could have done that very easily. But the reason why I'm not exiting it is simple. I see that this red bar, and try to magnify it a little bit. I see this red bar here that actually went the wrong way. that it closed just underneath the 20 moving average. But in order for this market to really kill my trade, it needs to produce more red bars. That means follow through. And it didn't. It actually produced a green bar straight away that went actually all the way back to the opening price. And then it produced a pause bar, which is just pausing a little bit, breathing a bit. And now it's producing a second bar, which so far looks almost like a small pause. So right now, I'm just keeping calm and watching how it occurs. My stop is down here. I can move this line. This is not my stop line, but I can move it. Let me see if I could quickly show you the live trade so you can actually see it. Yeah, now you should be able to see my Meta platforms, and you can see if I remove this line and click it again, that the trade is actually on. Can anybody in the chat confirm that they can see Meta platforms in my TD365 right now? That would be nice. Anyone in the chat? There's 10 people watching. Yeah. Thank you for Kim. He says, I can see it. So now you can actually see this dotted line down here is actually my stop line, and this is my entry line. So now you can say, well, now I'm back to more or less break even. So why don't I close it here? Well, I just see that it has done a really nice reversal power. This is called a 3-bar play, or Oliver, he calls it red bar ignored. But if you talk to Jared Wesley of Light Traders, he will call it a 3-bar play. You can call it whatever you want. When you have a 3-bar play or red bar ignored, what needs to come after this is follow through. That means that you can have a red resting bar, which is forming right now, but then it should produce more green. So I'm giving now the stock an opportunity to show me what it's going to produce. Maybe a red resting bar and then some green. Or just green straight away. If we look at the chart, we can actually see that this whole area up here has no recent price history. All the price history is down here. That means that there shouldn't be anything really blocking price for going into this area. Here we go. So let's see how it can progress. And I will talk about when I'm going to exit as it progresses. But my thought is that, first of all, this was a this was a faulty trade. I completely admit that. I pressed the wrong button. So if I can just get out in break even, it will be more than fine. But else I will trail this specific order as soon as it gives me a signal to exit. I'm not going to go for a 1-to-1 ratio or 1-to-2 ratio or something like that. I'm just looking at what the stock is actually going to give to me, because the stock doesn't care whether I want 1-to-1 ratio or 1-to-2 ratio, whatever. Of course, it's good to have positive expectancy, but at the end of the day, it doesn't care what I do. It doesn't care what lines I write on this chart. So what I'm just going to do is, well, I will take whatever the market gives me. But right now, what a good idea to suggest with or without a trading plan would be to actually move your stop to underneath this green bar. So now I have moved my stop. You can see TD365 says, do you want to amend your stop? Yes, I want to do that. There we go. So now I have amended my stop. That means if price goes down here, I will be stopped out. In this case, for about $1.30 loss. But as Oliver teaches, when you have an elephant bar, which this green one is here, and even in a 3-bar play, you have power kind of, how do you say, spraying out in the elephant bar. And what I actually do is, most of the time, when I see these elephant bar, which are very much longer than the regularly sized bars, you can see these are the regularly sized bars. When I have an elephant bar, I often draw a line right here in the middle of the elephant bar, 50%. And I say, well, as long as this 50% mark doesn't get taken out by a closing candle, I shouldn't be worried. If it does get taken out by a closing candle, then I should be worried. And that would give me at least one reason or signal to say, okay, I want to close the trade. So far, we can still see that the buying signal on Microsoft was actually valid here at 413. Now the price is 414.67. So that was valid. We can see that with Nvidia, even though I pressed the wrong button, I would actually be in plus if I pressed the correct button. But so it is. We're only human beings. We make mistakes once in a while. As long as we admit that it's a mistake, that's okay. Yeah. So it is. Now you can see, of course, Meta is producing weakness again. Let's see. Maybe they're just really trying to test this top of the fabulous $4. Okay. I seem to have a little bit problem with my chart not reacting right now because my computer think it's a little bit how do you say, over occupied. I will try and stop this one and see instead. Now you should be able to see the pro real time again. And I will just close down my Meta chart because it was stalling a little bit. I'll try and open it again. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can go back again to, here we go, the Meta platform. So now you can see that unfortunately the price has broken 50% of this green bar. And that means that right now I have the signal to say that it's okay to, in this case, close the trade because it has violated the 50% of the whole bullish bar. So that means that this bullish bar didn't get any continuance. So in this case, I think I will actually just give it a breather to see how this one ends. Does it? Yeah, you can see it actually ends right down in the trap zone. The trap zone is these two black lines here, which basically this black line should be all the way down here. So now it's down in the trap zone as well. And that means that this is a dangerous area where price can just bounce up and down. And this can give a lot of fake signals. So unless it just completely goes out on this next 2 minutes, I am going to close the trades. I will give it this last one chance because it has broken already my 50% mark. But as you can see now, it produces a bullish bar again. Funny. But that's how it is with live. You can never really, how do you say, make it work perfectly for you. But that's the cool thing, as I said also about that when you're watching, let's say, a 2-minute time frame, sometimes if you just switch to the 3-minute, you get a much clearer view of what's actually going on, or sometimes even go to the 5-minute in this case. And this, I'm talking specifically about the stocks, that in this case, they could be more clear. So let's see how it progresses. Normally, when you have a retracement which is this big, almost 61% of the green bar, that means that the stock is kind of getting a little bit tired, and therefore that the run up that it does here is, how do you say, using more power. It needs more power to get up here. Doesn't mean it cannot go through. It can, but it's just a little bit exhausted, you can say. Whereas if the green bar, it only produced red, which stayed in the upper third of this green elephant bar, then there will be a lot of power to shoot up even more. I can change the color of this one, hopefully. There we go. So this is the 50% mark of the green bar. I want to see if it holds. As I see and following Nvidia, I can see Nvidia has still shooting up. So the Nvidia buy that I originally saw, I can see if I can flip very to it here. There was an Nvidia buy. Technically, it was a buy, even though I really don't like the candlesticks because the candlesticks are very small. They have oh, wait a second. I'm not showing the right platform, I think. There we go. Now you should be able to see the Pro Real-Time platform. The Pro Real-Time platform here, I wanted to see some very bullish elephant bars here, but it started with 3 small bars, which has long tails and also long spikes, and this is not optimal. But basically, you could still say this is in position 1, or if not, position 1.5. And as soon as you get a color change, you are able to do a entry with a stop underneath. And so far, if you've done this from 904, you would be up now to 909, so you'll still be up $5. So of course, it would have looked very much nicer if I got actually to hit the right button with Nvidia instead of hitting the Meta button. But so it is. So it is. All right. So the thing is, I want to talk a little bit about trading psychology and mindset while we see how this meta plays out. I'll switch back to the meta so we can see how it plays out. Let me see. Let's see if I can find out how to do that now. Yeah, stop digging. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now you should be able to see Meta. And if I'm not mistaken, you are about to able to see me in the corner as well. But I want to talk a little bit about trading psychology and mindset, because I have been spending a lot of years in trying to find, how do you say, not the holy grail, but to trying to find a way of certainty through using technical analysis. And I found out that this is actually a kind of a lost cause, but it's still what a lot of people try to do. They try to find the certainty of where the market is going to go within the technical analysis. And to some extent, of course, you can use the technical analysis. But what I tried to say before is that Meta right now, Meta don't care where I buy or where I sell. It doesn't care where my profit target is or my stop loss. I mean, the whole stock market in general is what it is. And I have accepted that I cannot even predict the outcome of this trade. I cannot predict what the next candle is going to produce. And if, for God's sake, not there goes an atom bomb in Ukraine in 5 minutes, the whole market is going to flip around anyhow. So you cannot really predict what's going to happen. But what you can do is that you can use your technical trading, in this case, the price action trading, to put the probabilities on your side. But as I'm trying to say in a lot of my YouTube shorts lately, if you go to my channel, Dansk-Daytrading, and look at this one, you can see that I tried to say in several of these shorts that it doesn't really matter how much technical analysis you know, because the market is going to do what the market is going to do, and you need to be able to control the trading psychology and the mindset to the trading. So that means, like, don't panic or whatever, and especially follow your trading plan. Like right now, I see I think people calls it a symmetrical triangle. So I want to draw in this symmetrical triangle. And even though I have seen in many other examples that this one can produce a multiple green bars, I have no idea if it's going to do it this time. And I accept the fact that even though it looks like it's breaking out of this symmetrical triangle now, I don't know if it's going to produce 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 bars. I don't know, and it's okay. But the best thing I can do is, as a trader, is to start to trade by a specific trading plan that I have composed myself. For many of the first years I was trading, I didn't even do that, I have to be honest. Secondly, I didn't understand completely the trading psychology and the mindset. But as soon as I got most of the teaching from Oliver Velez, from Randy Howell, from Mark Douglas, from Tom Hugard, all the big guys who know what they're talking about and being very honest about it, I understand the combination of the technical trading, I mean, being a technical trader, along with the day trading psychology, and that you need to be able to control both of them because else it's not going to work. So right now, while we're waiting for the Meta platform perhaps to produce a couple of more green bars, I will be open for any questions there might be. So I'm looking at the chat now. So if you write any questions there, you are welcome, and I will try and answer them as good as I can while we watch Meta. I hope the next time I go live, I don't hit the wrong button, because I understand that this, of course, doesn't look so good. But I'm just a human being. We are still watching what Meta does while I'm waiting for if you guys have any questions about the trading that I have done, or the trading psychology or the mindset. Maybe if you can tell me some of the difficulties or the problems that you have occurred, could be especially the mindset problems, I will be more than happy to answer them while we watch Meta produce something good. So far now you can see that the Meta is again in plus, and this of course is the mentally challenging thing, that ever since I entered the trade, I went to plus very quickly, then I went to minus, then I went to a little bit plus again, then to minus, and then back to minus, and then to zero, and then minus, 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 and now plus, and then now a little minus. And this of course is, for our minds, it's really difficult to manage that a trade can go plus and minus and plus and minus. So if you look at your P&L all the time, you're going to get very easily stressed, and most of the time lose your focus. Like, let's say if you did a trade before and you lost $100, it will be obvious that the next trade that you're in, as soon as you see that you're up $100, you'll say, okay, now I'm actually up the $100 I just lost, and thereby often closing the trade very quickly, which is kind of a fault, because the two trades has nothing to do with each other. I mean, they are separate trades, and the second trade could actually produce you a winning of $300. So this is one of the key thing, which is really hard to master. And as we can see now, Meta is really playing around with us. But I'm trying to give it a chance, because it still hasn't broken and closed underneath the 20 moving average, and it still hasn't broken and closed underneath the bullish elephant bar that I have drawn in. So, well, I will ask a question, maybe you can answer. Can you see both the Meta chart and my small window on the side where you can see me pointing? Or can you only see the chart? You should be able to see both me and the chart. Okay, that's a yes. So I guess that means you can see both me and the chart at the same time. All right. And as you can see, Meta is repeatedly testing the Fabulous 4 box. This is the Fabulous 4 box, the top of the Fabulous 4 box. This is the bottom of the Fabulous 4 box. And now, yeah, it just flips through directly. There you go. So now it just went straight through the box, as you can see, and it hit my stop. Funny enough, the line doesn't even go out. That's strange. Yeah, I will switch to let's say I'll do like this, and then I will go to the other chart while I see what is going on. Let me see here. Yeah, okay. It was just simply my platform that didn't update that the trade was actually closed. Because it is closed, I can see now. All right. Yeah. So wait a second, guys. Oh, there's a question. I will answer the question in just a second. There we go. Yeah. Viking Hunter says, how do you find a good entry and if it has to be bearish or bullish? I can try to do the answer both in Danish and in English, so both can benefit from this. Okay. Let me try to do the answer in Danish first. Viking Hunter, hvordan finder du et godt entry, om det skal være bearish eller bullish? Det bedste entry, jeg kan få, uanset om det er bearish eller bullish, er et entry, som ligger så tæt på det 20. glidende gennemsnit som overhovedet muligt. Det vil sige, at det bedste havde været, hvis prisen kunne have startet, for eksempel her med Nvidia, kunne have startet lige her omkring tæt på det 20. glidende gennemsnit, og så lavet en meget, meget, meget lang bar, som jeg kan se er en elefantbar, som er længere end de gennemsnitlige barer. Det havde været det absolut optimale. Så det skulle have været en grøn bar her. Havde det været det modsatte, det vil sige nedunder, så skulle der have været en lang rød bar. Det havde været et særligt godt event. Men der findes flere måder også. Der findes også det, der hedder en bear 180 eller en bull 180, hvor at du simpelthen har prisen, der vender rundt fra en rød til en grøn. Det vil sige, at i det tilfælde, når man er i et positivt område, og man er over den midlertidige positive trend, som MA20 jo kan siges at være, jamen, så kan man i virkeligheden tage et farveskift med det samme og sige, lige så snart grøn får farve, får styrken, så kan jeg i virkeligheden gå ind, fordi det jeg gerne vil se heroppe, det er grøn styrke, det jeg gerne vil se hernede under, det er rød styrke, så at sige. Du kan forestille dig det lidt, det er ligesom en amerikansk fodboldkamp, hvor de går henholdsvis hen over midten i forhold til et color change. Jeg prøver at tage den på engelsk også. In order to look for a bearish or bullish setup, I'm looking for price action to start. In this case, if you look at Nvidia, I want it to start more or less here on the 20 moving average. And I want to see a long bar which is extended. We call it elephant bar, basically like this one. This one is longer than the average one. So if this one has started right here on the 20 moving average, very close to this box as well, the Fabulous 4 box, with the rising 20 moving average, that would indeed have been a good entry. And the same goes if it was underneath the 20 moving average, it would indeed have been a good entry if it was a red elephant bar. That means a long red elephant bar. But there are more different types of events that you can enter from. But the most important thing is to look for the position. So that means you need to find the position, because the position is always, if not even more important than actually the entry method itself. So even if you have a very good signal, it could become the wrong thing on on the wrong spot. I mean, on the wrong position. If you have a very good signal but it's on the wrong position, it can fail. So it has to be both a good signal and at the right position, so to speak. Now I can actually see Nvidia has done a spike up and it's now retracing towards the 20 moving average. So what I'm looking for here is that price gets a color change at or near the 20 moving average. This will actually produce an entry for me. And let me see if I can see clear on the 3 minute here. What happens? Well, I don't like these 3 spikes because they can technically signal a turn. I think it's ICT who also says that, but anyhow, they can signal a turn. So what I want to see is Nvidia getting a little bit closer to the 20 moving average now and see what happens from there. If it does a color change from red to green from this move, we're still in position, maybe not position 1, but I would call it 1.5, because we have relatively distance to the 200. The question is, it could be really hard to say exactly if this is position 2 or what I call 1.5. But if it's really, really long distance between the 200 and the price, that is probably a position 2. And when you are in position 2, you'll be looking for longs and not that many sorry, you'll be looking for shorts and only a few longs. That means that you could basically look for a short entry instead. Let's see how it progresses. Yeah, I want to try and see if I can flip to the other screen as well, because the transparency is really important to me. Here you go. This is my TD365 account, and I have skimmed out my account balance and I've skimmed out my account number. I think this is private, but you can see this starts with 50, so this is a real one. And as you can see here, I just did one CFD for showing in Meta Platforms. It opened at 476, close to 475, and in this case, minus 13 kroners. It could be 1 CFD, 10 CFD, 100 CFD, 1,000 CFDs. It doesn't matter. The point is that saying I'm honest about it, and I'm showing you that in this case, in this trade, I lost. So it is. So one between several trades, 1 out of 100, doesn't matter. As long as I keep my stop loss in control, I do not move my stop loss away to give it more room to breathe and suddenly risk the double of what I'm supposed to do according to my trading plan, there's no problem. And as you saw, I actually, in this case, moved my trade the other way. So I actually made, how do you say, the stop even smaller than it was originally. Okay, we're back at watching Nvidia now. I needed some water, getting a bit thirsty here. I'm still looking for Nvidia, what it's going to do here around the 20 moving average. I want to see some green take over the red in case I have to be bullish. As you can see, Meta dropped right through now and actually stopped right at this this area that I have already drawn in. This is actually not the fabulous 4 area, because that would be all the way down here, more or less, well, here to be exact. But I could see that this was of relevance from last day, so now it has still relevance. And also the price actually stopped right on the 200 moving average. I'm not saying it's going to act necessarily as support, but there could be a good chance that it is. So now you see actually Nvidia produced the other way. It actually produced red so far. It hasn't closed. So what I could be looking for now is that price tries to go up and fails through the 20 moving average, like it basically did with Microsoft here. You can see Microsoft dropped through the 20 moving average, goes up and fails to go through. So basically with Microsoft, it can do a retest, or now it actually does a color change. So technically I have a sales signal for Microsoft now, because it already tested the 20 moving average once. I'm just letting it be for a little while. I would rather actually to hear if there's any more questions about the methodology or any questions about the trading psychology or mindset. That would be cool while we watch the market. While you might think about a question or two you want to write, I will continue to encourage you to, if you're looking for any trading education or any trading help or mentorship or whatever, I would encourage you to look for people who, at least like me, can show that they are trading live, and also that they can accept even to show when they're losing. Probably the next live video I'm going to do, I could do a winning trade or 3 winning trades. Let's see, you never know. But I encourage you guys to see that you can find people who actually trade live. And I also encourage you guys to have faith in yourself, to believe that you can actually be good enough to find your own signals for trading, that you don't need any signal service that you need to pay some crazy amount for in order to get a signal of when to buy and when to sell. This can be taught very easily. I have tried to teach some of it now. Of course, my MetaTrade was not good teaching, but the teaching of my MetaTrade was hit the goddamn right button. So it is, but at least the Microsoft actually did play out perfectly, even though I didn't get to take the trade. It paid out perfectly, because after the entry, what I could expect was 3 to 5 bars at least, and I got 3 bars. So that means as soon as it produced these three relatively long bars, I would accept it to close the trade here and then add perhaps here, but then I would be caught in a big turnaround. But as soon as I got the color change here, I could add, or even better, what I should do is wait for the price to be close at or near the 20 moving average, then get a color change over here, and then go long. Also, there's a color change here, and I could have taken this one and got how do you say, got caught in this one. But hey, if I lose $1 from this move, it's okay if I win $3 or something from that move. So it is the game. It's funny how the market tends to be, at least for these stocks, are turning to be a little bit negative here. Yeah. I did actually expect on the Nvidia to be just a little bit more fight up here. I hate to do it, but in hindsight, of course, this would be a nice entry for short, as well as here you can see even the meta actually on the third bar closes underneath the 200 moving average. It's still within the bad zone. It's still within the zone of trap zone, which you technically, Oliver says, well, you should drink coffee here, you shouldn't trade here. But in this case, you can also see the Microsoft, the one test to the 20 moving average was enough for the color change to appear, and then you can actually enter the trade. But what you have to understand is that these patterns comes in different ways. They always shows in different ways. So you never get the same pattern, twice in a row, because then it will be really easy. Now you actually have Meta, which has closed even underneath the box. So what you should look for here would actually be a color change to the downside. I would just say that just because you get a color change to the downside, that means that red takes out green. I think you should be a little bit cautious about that, because the price started on top of the Fabulous 4 and went all the way through. And this would be reasonable to have at least some kind of retracement before a move down. All right. Okay, it seems like that I'm not really getting that much question, and that's cool. Okay, that's so it is. I think I would call it a day right now. I would have wished that I could have showed you, of course, also a winning example, which I could have done if I showed you the Nvidia buy. But the most important thing is that you understood that I would able to take a color change up here in position 1.5, and I would have gotten 3 bars. Also, that we had an entry down here from this torpedo bar, which gets taken out by the green. The Microsoft, in this case, was the best signal, no doubt about it. It was the best signal. But I will try to go live here on YouTube again I will go live again on YouTube in the future. So I will be showing you more live trades, and I will try to post them in the Facebook groups again. And hopefully we can the next time hit a couple of winning trades. But I think we have run about almost an hour now, so I think it's more or less good for the day. Thank you so much, you guys who has been watching. If you write any comments, I will of course answer all your comments to this video. This video should be available to watch again and again as soon as YouTube has done its thing with it. It should be available so you can see it over and over again. I will not delete it, even though I had a losing trade. It's okay. This is how life is. This is just mere to show the proof how it works with the technical analysis, with the price action trading, and also to talk a little about the trading mindset. In the coming future, I will also have more videos specifically on both trading psychology, mindset, and of course also the trading part. And I will also launch videos when I finally use the new name that I'm going to use in my trading. And hopefully the next time we will also be able to show you profitable trades. But because at the end of the day, I know this is what people wants to see. But one truth is that every trader And that includes Tom Hawker, that includes Oliver Velez, that includes everybody, Jesse Livermore, you name it. Every trader has a losing day. And our biggest job, this is perhaps the best advice I can give you guys who's looking right now. The best advice is that our job is to control our losses, because everybody can put on a winning trade. So if you just concentrate on make sure that your losses are controlled and never gets out of hand, you can do this through a trading plan. You can do this through a trading mentor who keeps you accountable to your trading plan. That means you're not accountable to me as a mentor, but I'm holding you accountable to your own promises, because at the end of the day, trading is about keeping your own promises to yourself. So that's what you need to do. And this is really hard when you sit alone doing your day trading. That's why it's very good to have a mentor actually to do this. So the thing is to control our losses, like I did today with Meta. It was a good experience. I controlled my losses. It didn't go out of hand. Even though I didn't win, it's fine. I can do 5 trades more later today, and they're going to go fine. Let's see. I don't know. But the most important thing is I controlled my losses, because that's what my job is as a day trader, is to make sure I control my losses. The winners, they don't really need me to do anything besides taking off the money off the table whenever the signal gets there. So it doesn't require that I produce or do anything, but the losses require that I make sure that the losses never go out of hand. That's why Tom Hawker, he made a whole book called Best Loser Wins. The guy who's actually best at losing is also the guy who's going to be the most profitable. So, please, if you want to, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to see you on the next live video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.